So ebintu bino ebimu confusing. There are professional rate cards for everything that you do, and these rate cards si ze zimu. Tosuubira Bushingtone kucharginga sente ze zimu ne Swiss Beats. Swiss Beats ye zaayagala zeezo. Okitegeera kati kiva ku ggwe kumanya value for money. Okitegeera, but with me I feel nti bwe kyoyagala ky'oba okola. Oli bw'aba agamba nze yakola video ya mitwalo 3 nezo miliyoni 2 gye ziri era osobola otuula wano n'onoga camera one shot n'onyimba ne biggwa. So people sometimes, let me tell you, but these days simanyi oba this is called journalism. Everyone has a voice, everyone can talk about, and music is the most free business. People don't talk about banking. I don't know how you get a chichota money. We don't talk about law because we don't talk, it's not in the public domain. But music, but it's also a profession of its own if you understand it so well. Now, how much do you love your art or your business to reinvest in it? That's the question you should be asking. To me, he is being an example that I have the money. And I'm not talking about the artists in his league have the money to do that. They have. Some choose to do other business. Some choose to do restaurants. Some choose to do bars. Some choose. But do you know how much that business would cost? Billion. But this person is saying, no, let me bring it back into the music. If it can change someone's mindset, let it change him. Why? So to me, it's just viable. You have a person like Jesse Ray. This is a top. You can Google Jesse Ray and see, right now as I speak, I can't get off holding because Burna Boy Yamulokens it down. And I know finalizing 3 songs on that album. And Bebe has already announced. Now, I'll call you. Burna Boy Yamulokens it down. Yamugambe tokola chintu kyonna. You get what I'm saying. So how much is Burna Boy? Either way, nalabika clip, Bushi, atomeza abantu. I don't call these people. They come to me. If you come to me and ask me, nkoze ntachino, I'll tell you, but yachikola. Zanti zezino za asaba. Kwenodda noga netaga but nja kunoonya millions 10 nzimuwe. It is you. I'm not seeing kutemu sawo yo. Yeah. Me, I follow what my clients want me to do. That I didn't produce for Lutalo. I didn't. Derek Yampita, Nangamba, we want to shoot nice videos. Because at that time, there was no, social media was not a command of music marketing. It was mostly mainstream media. So for you to play on MTV or channel, or there was a certain type of quality. And the more the quality, the more airplay you got. So they came to me over my life. I found David Lutalo, Nakakaimba so nice. I found David Lutalo, I think it's pretty. That's the one. What I did, I said, Andy Fenon, named Sava Steve session, and I re-recorded because microphone here, this is not clean vocals. The rest was, please, if I tell you the real story, Derek, White House weeks bidi ne baawukana. Era okutalo lwavira South Africa eyo. Ne baawukana, nze nenzibibwa, nembivaako. Oba kitegeera. Kati nze nakola videos alimbi. Were they nice videos? And me, I'm not telling people to run to me. No. Sina gwe nali nkubidde simu nti come to me. No. But if you come to me, Nonga Bush, I want you to direct my album. I'll ask you, what do you want? Ngagwe.
Kwanza.
What do you want to achieve?
Welcome to Kasuku Live. It is the tough combination. Jenkins Mukasa,
yes,
alongside Bad Bad with the East Africa.
The global travel original international.
Yes, Sebo. Right now.
Let's ride.
We are requesting a idea now. Right now, Mujira Mubudde. chikutisiza.
Ride now. Let's ride.
Okay, tubaniriza ku Vibe Life UG yonna gye musinzira okuba nga mutulaba. Leero nsinzidde wano ku Platinum Wellness Spa. Tuli waggulu ku rooftop. Jacuzzi eri wano, massage bed, buno obutebe mwopoera.
Ojje ekintu yashiwanisa.
Ojje ekintu yakitaddemu supu. Era bw'okitunuulira empewo akakufuuwako. Obeera mu jacuzzi nga ka TV kwekali.
Namwe najera mwina positioning. Eno kaliche.
Naye ojje yagamba agenda kuteerayo. Agenda giteeka namugongo.
Abantu ate abateeremu akasana kati mwina miti.
Twale eri.
Wamwe waliyo emiti.
Eno wabeerayo wati emiti bayiwe.
Ennyanja ogiwulira empewo bwefuuwa. Okitegeera naye wamwe omusana olinganga mu kisenyi omusana gwokye yonna jeera. Ere wampeera nnyumba ku bwerere sigisula.
Twale eri manyira oli yagamba yewe naye wayitayo ku mmotoka zino empya z'ebbenzi nemye aziyitayo.
Naye tubadde wantu wakazirabye wadde sigiina naye ziwagoni ziyitawo.
Jogo lyennyini ndine Bushingtone minister omanyi abantu
ekintu kyange wakyotandisa okisabulula
ate kisandulula kale ndine Bushingtone voice producer tuze tuwayemu kwa waliwo ensonga ezigenda mu maaso zenjagala clearinge wano nawali bigenda bitya
si bibi tutambuza
kulaba otambuza
wale
tuwulira otambuza
nange mbawulira
naye tuwulira otambuza
nange muzijongera naye ndi mugumu nnyo.
First of mutiisa bannayuganda much as we are advocating abantu bakole albums but if omuyimbi avayo n'agamba nawa Bush open check ya Billion akole album, that is intimidation to the rest.
Really?
Kitegeeza omuntu alina sooka naweza Billion ye n'agiteeka ku bbali naga akantandika okulowooza ku music album. Why?
Well, ekigambo ky'okozesa kye kibi. I don't think it falls in context. Intimidation.
Hey, ma'am.
No, it's just like oli wazimba ennyumba naganda gisibenzeko $5,000,000. Is it intimidation?
Abazi atiisa abalala okuzimba.
Okeera noga nalidde ekyemisana. Tuva kulya wano wakyali waffe Goretti. Akamere kabadde ka layisi ka 3 mu kitundu. Naye era ku Serena keekamu ka $10,000. So oli baga nti alidde ku Serena ogamba nti intimidation.
Atiisa kati atiisa
takutiisa but it's the reality. The issue is nti people need to understand, like, if bw'oba tokola ekintu ekimu it doesn't mean abalala tebakikola. You get? So yes, you may not be used to doing things mu ngeri emu naye tekitegeeza nti abalala tebabikola. Okitegeera ate goyinza okuba tokimanyi nti bakikola, so n'owakana n'okuba emmeeza n'ovuma n'okola ki, that is the reality nti bali ababikola. I've been on projects ezisinga ne budget z'oyogerako. Okitegeera, yeah. If you ask yourself how much would Wizkid spend in an album, how much would Burna Boy, I was a Burna Boy spending a Wanga Sony is all more advanced, let's say $1 million nga 5 oba 3 okola album, or was agenda spending a $1 for your album. Yeah. I know nti abayimbi bemulaba Nigeria bakola zi collaboration, 90 or 80% of those collaborations are paid for. Yeah. So we say Davido nga bwakoze album ainako Becky G, ainako Chris Brown, you will go olabe mu logistics nga verse emu ya Becky G egiguze $3,000 $3. I'm telling you. Snoop Dogg, I don't know the rate right now, but emabega kawo 8 bars I think was $150,000 USD. 8 bars. Okitegeera nga kuli video naye bw'oba oyagala bars 8 kati gy'okoma okwongerako kwengolako oba ebiri oba okitegeera. So oluyimba lumu oli waba asobola spendingako I remember when was it? 2014. Twali wano ku Serena P Square. So nga tugezako babuuza, is it for 2014, 2016? Try to babuuza about how they bakikola batofuna recruits. They paid 160,000 USD to feature oyo muyimbi. But it's almost the same money they gave them okujja okuyimba wano. So sometimes go batomanyi kintu ojja kuba embeekula emitwalo 16 ojja $, okay, simanyi rate ya luli naye right now oli million nga 6, right? Oba 5-7 5-7 you get. So there are engineers who charge money birimu levels ne wano mulimu ba producers ebemitwalo 2 aba 3 naye bwe mba ngenzewo n'essimu nkimanyi nti ngenda kwawukana ne $10 plus. If I'm lying, abayimbi ba testifying. Tipo ogenda wende sim. Jebali, I don't know, I don't want to disclose people's rate cards. But which mind waliwo ba producer ab'ettaano, waliwo ab'e10. Jebali ne mu Uganda mwebali abacharginga that type of money. Okitegeera. Oyagala kola ne Michael Fingers, you know how much you're going to pay. Okitegeera kingeza.
Oyagala Esther kuwandiikira.
If you want Esther to write, Esther chali wange nnyo like a sister. Newe mugamba write for me. Namueleza kuandikira Lydia that, but then nakujako milioni 5 then yeah she's there, you call her.
I know kituufu
yeah but waliwo ne bawriter ab'emitwalo aga waliwo ne bogulira facility vibe nakuwa verse oba chorus. It's there. Okitegeera, it's there. When I used to give radio to write for me, there's a fee I used to pay. Okitegeera. But see, I was singing radio yali awandikira mitwalo 5 singa buli omu yayinanga ennyimba ze. You get what I'm trying to say? So gwe kyoyagala kikuseeza. Okitegeera. So there are people who charge expensively because they are too good at what they do. Okitegeera. Tubadde twogera off camera about events. If you want to do a cheap event, gyebali era abagikola ne guggwa. Okitegeera.
Ne bayomba byabwe.
Ne muyomba nenga wa okitegeera. Ne mubaamu oli n'akugamba nti nze bwe tompadde ezo sijja. Gyebali abantu nga ba pay per view kulabako kusasula. You get what I'm trying to say? So gwe kyotamanyi ojja kikaanira but kyoyagala kikuseeza. So with albums
are open for all classes. Secure your child's place today by calling 0705 640 880 0705 640 880. Kampala City Grammar Nursery Day and Boarding Primary School in Go.
Namugamba kati enyumba njikuwadde. Naye kati kyoyagamba nti nabo ba intimidating. They can afford to do it. There are so many ways. Sometimes it's monetary or no sasula sente. And I'll use okubagwa mukwano. I'll use Vibe Life. If I want to advertise on Vibe Life, there is a rate card. But I use okubanga ni mukwano gwa bat. Ne muga blood mpisi zaawo. But nakikolera obwere kubanga ndiki blood.
Ndabwe ndi mukikola mu bitus.
Okikola ki? Lwaki blood. Obo kitiga kyengeza kugamba. So ebintu bino ebimu to be confusing. There are professional rate cards for everything that you do, and these rate cards sizezimu. Tosuubira Bushingtone kucharginga sente zezimu ne Swiss Beats. Swiss Beats ye zayagala zezo. Okitegeera kati kiva ku gwe kumanya value for money. Okitegeera, but with me I feel nti bwe kyoyagala ky'oba okola. Oli bw'aba agamba nze yakola video ya mitwalo 3. Nezo million 2 gyeziri. Era osobola otuula wano noga camera one shot nonyimba ne bigwa. You get. And people will still stream it. It can even hit. Okitegeera, lusa no hitting. I will ask you, Ozambe yateka sente meka mu studio. You know, it was a TikTok freestyle. Yali TikTok Ozambe bichi. It hit. Nenga mulimu abayimbi abasasule million 4 mu studio. Nimutaka kuba.
Yadde.
Obo kitegeera. And you saw that even when they went to studio to record, I'm not judging, but we were already taken by the original. You get, even though it had, you know, a big artist featuring and stuff, but original already tried for tujitutte ne video tetukyaga twali kushifura no Zambe period. You get, and it was done. It was a rap. So with albums, I want us to understand stages of the album. There is the composition, which is putting down the music. There is production, which is the recording of the music. Okitegeera. So with buli item gyenjogera, composition, muli composing, arranging, buli kimu okitegeera. Writing, video. Production, the sessions, there is facilitation, paying people, there is legal. Okitegeera. Sasula endaga lawyer, spreadsheets, okitegeera. Then there is the engineering, which is the mixing, and then the mastering. All these are stages, because you need to get quality sonics. You need to get a qualified product that you put out. That's why in Coca-Cola, onywa Coca-Cola nga yemu, they invest in the production. Techichugwa. Era bwogenda mu hotel noga akatunda, bwogenda kusayina ne bakusaba $10,000 n'onya akatunda nga kavunzeemu, kafamentinze. Ogenda kubasuuwinga sente mpitirivu. Because ni goreti akayina ka 15. Naye wali ka ebiri oba gumu kitundu, it has to be quality. So people sometimes, let me tell you, but these days, simanyi oba this is called journalism. Everyone has a voice, everyone can talk about, and music is the most free business. People don't talk about banking. I don't know how you get a chichota money. We don't talk about law, because we don't talk, it's not in the public domain. But music, but it's also a profession of its own if you understand it so well. Nange, before I started really getting to know it in depth, okumusoma, I didn't know that things happen like this way. Because there's things you can learn on the job, but when you start understanding music in depth, so abantu abamu bambi atwa bamutekamu time. There is experience, they build names, so for you to be on their project, or if they have to be on your project, they will come on a cost. Then finish these steps and there is the marketing, which is even the most expensive of all. So you can do an album at 1 million, depending on the factors. If Bush is your friend, if Bart the producer is your friend, if the composer Shina Skies is your friend, you can do it at 1 million. A million you're spending. Yaka juice mu studio you're spending. Oboshitegera ngebisigale byonna oyisani Nikolaya jawandike free of charge. You can do it at 1 million. You can do it at 4 million. Nga half of that costs za bwerere obanga offer. You can do it at zero cost nga waliwo mugaga akutaddemu sente n'agamba but ezo nzera nzibala nti azitaddemu. You get, so these things have levels. So oli bwakeera n'akugamba I've spent this amount of money on the album. It may look ambiguous if I'll give for instance the artist Bebe Gogamba I've spent $1 billion on an album. It may look ambiguous. I want us to dissect the people on the album.
At Bush, we are advocating for good quality music.
Yeah, but
the base setting orimba really clean
but I'll like to tell you one thing, but the artists make the money. They do make that money.
They do.
They don't want to reinvest that money. The difference here with Bebe may be Ali on a bigger scale. He didn't choose to buy a G-Wagon, which he could buy. Obonfuna, singa yali ayagala alibadde yagula G-Wagon, n'atuyitako ng'evuuma, vuba ayiseewo. Because mu Uganda, I would say, benchmark ya success, mu Uganda, muyimbi alina okuba n'emmotoka ng'eriko sitiika, Rasidi Musege. Okitegeera kyegeza kugamba. Kabako wuya ayiseewo, Bushingtone wuya akoze eki yagireese. Bw'avaawo kati amutandika ogamba muyimbi atandise okukola sente. Bw'avaawo ayingira endongo ku bwereere. Bamulenkana biki okitegeera. Bw'ayongerako aguzeeyo akataka n'azimba ennyumba. You get. But I understood also one thing. Business endala, if you don't reinvest back in the business, it doesn't bring the money. You get. So bw'olima leero n'ojja ebintu mu nnimiro, kasooli n'ojjamu ensawo 10 ate n'ozirya n'otayiwaamu manure ettaka ne lifa woddamu okulimamu
biba birala
ojja kugyamu ensawo 10 oyigate business yafa naye nga ki because this business abayimbi 99% buli kye balina it's because of this music but they never bring back the money and I'll tell you we can gwembulira an artist nze nkubalire okitegeera give me any random name I'll tell you if they don't have the money to invest back they can are charging how much to go on the concert
between 2, 3, 4, 5
let's say are charging a 5 million how many shows does he do a month
that's okuba weekend nga kuba show nga 3
so Monday Friday Saturday that is 15 million a week times 4 60 million that is roughly 15,000 USD if I spending there 5,000 on his music the 10,000 on something else is it bad that's why I said 10,000 spend it awalala okay let him bring back 2,000
as this
or 1,000 you get what I'm trying to say gwe gamba nti buli mwezi dollars zange 10 nzijjako okwo omwaka oba ne sente meka oba kitegeere oba olina omutwalo gw'omugumu 2,000 can it do something quality can it take you to something oba kitegeere if I'm not trying to discredit the people who are creating content the people who are producing content locally but also n'abo abantu sometimes the budgets we give them they are minimal. I'll to give you an example. We have been doing events, but when Spice came to me, Nemugamba, how much do you have? Nangamba, I can push to this. That's why I can do a stage of that magnitude. But I'll still do $1 million. But yangambe tuina picnic jangu push teka yo, but I'll still do it. Ochitegera. If you go to Nesim no more $1.13 zowa Phil Keys, oba $5 zowa Blaze Beats. Agenda gamba okay. Kati ouma njagala gita ouma mugambe nzijja naye njagala kakadde kange nti kyangu ogikube naye bw'otamuwa ezo gita agenda gikubanga ye ku midi it will sound nice but it won't be as good as the Michael Ouma one. You get what I'm trying to say? If you're recording at 300,000 producer agenda kukwata mang papa akugambe genda but olwokuba muwadde $1 million anel oliwa jangu studio but aina mic wait Newman something bring it to recording amalobozi gono Steve aina studio ina acoustics tugenda recording ile wa Steve amalobozi tugajeyo. You get what I'm trying to say? You ngoma ezo ndoza ziso okunyuma live Augustine oliwa jangu ne ngoma to recording just drums to veil tugenda awalala. So you see how much you're investing in the production. You get what I'm trying to say? So because you have a budget to do it, you get. Now, how much do you love your art or your business to reinvest in it? That's the question you should be asking. To me, he is being an example that I have the money. And I'm not talking about the artists in his league have the money to do that. They have. Some choose to do other business. Some choose to do restaurants. Some choose to do bars. Some choose. But do you know how much that business would cost? Billion. But this person is saying, no, let me bring it back into the music. If it can change someone's mindset, let it change him. Why? So to me, it's just viable. You have a person like Jesse Ray. This is a top. You can Google Jesse Ray and see, right now as I speak, I can't get of hold him because Burna Boy Yamulokens it down. And I know finalizing 3 songs on that album. And he has already announced. Now, I'll call you. Burna Boy Yamulokens it down. Yamugambe tokola chintu chonna. You get what I'm trying. So how much is Burna Boy? He's also looking for Jesse Ray. Brian Pachuraski, Grammy Award engineer. Robin, who is doing the Dolby. He's in charge. He's the one doing all the Dolby for Sony artists. He's top. You get what I'm trying to say? So, I didn't tell Bebe to do this type of. By the way, I don't call these people. They come to me. If you come to me and ask me, I'll tell you, but yachikola. Santi zezino za asaba. When not dinoga netaga but nja kunonye millions 10 nzimuwe. It is you. I'm not see yeah. Me, I follow what my clients want me to do. I didn't produce for Lutalo. I didn't. Derek Yampita, Nangamba, we want to shoot nice videos. Because at that time, there was no, social media was not a command of music marketing. It was mostly mainstream
MTV,
media. So for you to play on MTV or channel, or there was a certain type of quality. And the more the quality, the more airplay you got. So they came to me over my life. I found David Utalo, Nakakaimba so nice. I found David Utalo, I think it's pretty. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
What I did, I said, Young Fenon, named Saba Steve session, and I re-recorded because microphone here, we are Vumbera, Nimbagama, this is not clean vocals. The rest was, please, if I tell you the real story, Derek White House weeks bidi ne baawukana era okutalo lwavira South Africa eyo ne baawukana nze nenzibibwa nembivaako oba kitegeera kati nze nakola videos alimbi. Were they nice videos?
Now, yeah, Katibush Kankubuze, why do you use foreigners? Yet here we have people, you can pay good money, Ugamba Nasimbo, Masent Zagar in Kumies, is going to give you all the time.
Yeah, just saying Uganda.
Right, Toko is a Temoko budget, because the right at camp, I did something from there.
There are people who can do stuff when you give them money. There are people who cannot do stuff when you give them money. That, let us be honest with ourselves. Let us be honest with ourselves. Yes, I know we are being patriotic. There are levels to these things. You get. It's just like saying, it's the same conversation. You get what I'm trying to say. You get. There's so many reasons to everything. Still satisfying. The first goal of eating is to get satisfied. Did I eat and get satisfied? Yes. So is it affordable friendly to my pocket? Yes. Ochitegera. Goreti is my friend. Am I supporting Goreti? Yes. Naye Goreti emere jetulidde. Tekubadde dessert. Which means genda caramel tukuleka ka ice cream ne ka cake. Oba ochitegera. Tekubadde juice. Juice twali tulina mugula separate. Naye bwe nsasula buffet ya Serena. Manyi ka dessert endless. Goreti bwendye sowani 3 abagenda kunkuba omulawo. Oba kitegera kyengeza kugamba 2. Now there is working with someone to link you to a better opportunity. You get. I'll give you the advantages of working with top people. Most of the time, 80% you are assured of results. That is a fact. Bring it here locally. If I go to Nessim, I know I will get a good song. If I go to Atin, I will now get a good song. If I go to Microfingers, standard. Are they affordable? It may not be true to an upcoming artist who has no funder. So mugamba gendo ne simu sasule million 5 gundi wali ayina ekigundi kikuba
nyimba 10.
Zinyimba 10. Enze 10 waliwo watana atano bo wasatu. You get what I'm trying to say? It's just now changing settings. So a person who is engineering for, let's say, the top players, the people producing for the top players, you think to yourself, these are the people dominating. Bring it back here. If this is how music works, so there is dominant sounds at a certain time. You know there was a time where Chihuahua was dominant. So whoever was doing a record at Chihuahua was guaranteed airplay. I remember I recorded a song named Farah Capital. I didn't make it wine, I think. Fatty Chris. Net recording of him.
I
was there, it's in a meeting. I was in high school. Yeah, but I got a no, you know, was juice one. Fatty Chris, they make it like we've come from. netukula. So angamba Rimboro gende wa Steve Jean ekitegeera bw'omutwala wa Steve Jean byakola sijja kwogera muntu capital ekingamba naye kwegamba olina okugenda I think it was everyone by then and you come you get what I'm trying to say.
So the producer mattered.
When I did Sherry for Jasmine nalutwala capital ne bangamba tebaluuliza bangamba you take it to other radio stations. When they play it and it hits, we pick it on. And I'm very disappointed because I did that song thinking of Capital as the radio that will play. The type of hit, simply hit, there is a type of hit that they play. It has to play in there. So, bona kuba ekiyimba kyo ne kihitinga, did they play Mboko? Did Capital play Mboko? You get what I'm trying to say. So for you to get to MTV, if you know there's a certain videographer like Clarence Peters doing the videos, no genda you are Clarence, you are assured that content wali mukuzanya kuchi okitegeera. We did talk and we used like 5 videographers. I think we'll see in Joraba twalowooza twatulira ne Jeff ne bwe tugatta abantu bano bonna tesobola kukola videos zino P-Square ze bakola tugamba kati video ragitagamba I think by then million 10 nezo eyo short eya pichi twali shooting nga weeks nya yali lulala badi nakwata train ono ani Kim XP nakwata buli omu yakwata ne bitandika doni biki era bwogitunulira ebifaananyi tebifu twakozesa kamera ezo buli kamera gye twali tumanyi simanya fish eye simanyani nenjiwereza ku MTV abatayita abo were heartbroken. So the guy who really mentored me at MTV is called Gary Williams, young Amber. He came here and he was looking for artists and he opened my eyes. Nangamba Bush, I want to meet Radiant Wizo. Nzenengenda yo. Nangamba Nkomanyi, I've heard a lot about you, but I want to see the artist. With you, we went to Protea. Was it Protea? Yeah, Protea. Guys, you have some nice music. I think you can give P-Square a run for their money. But your videos, we play videos and videos are taking over. Like they're the ones marketing people cross-border. You need to up. Netwintana video dudu. Nemuzanyira dudu nga tujeulira. It's nice. Negat one we muri ateba have the wood
bagenzi.
Hey, so for tukoze fish eye. Nenga bazikoze chocolate city bazimaze muki. So natugamba so that's when we had our first meeting. My event with everybody Gorilla. That's the first strategy meeting we had. And I told Jeff, I want to shoot videos. I've tracked Tough Sunday, and we followed Tough Sunday from South Africa. Never J Rando Kola Kalanguka, if it were Air Rwanda something tourism, it was later on. We shot 2 videos. Can't Let You Go went #1 on MTV for 3 months. We got our first show in Nigeria after doing that. But that was after us attempting every director locally. You get. Then also because director local wakuna kusaba omutwalo gwa $1 kumukola video ojja kugaana. Benkunyumiza how I did that nafera abantu okuweza sente ezo. Okitege twaguza abantu content kati so byogera kuba bakyali bafe babivaako. Twabaguza content wabawizo album 3 ne tuzigabanya mu bantu. Bob Kinzi, MTK bani to raise that money. Zagaana tusoka ne tuyomba ne ku Good Life. Mwaze nanganze nyaka tuzimbe ekikomera bikiba tuvuma ne baga bwe twate tukoze videos eva mu Good Life. Nangamba hitawa n'ogende. Ka Jeff nangamba gwina sente. Gwikole wazigana ozikola bagano zikola. And we paid people we've never seen. But second video, what the BET? So it's because we jumped that step to get abantu who are good at that. I'm not saying that Abanaigana tebakola. They do.
Ne bush nebifaananyi you fly an artist outside to take photos.
Anyagala ombuze ebintu ng'obisengese bulungi. So it's the same thing I'm trying to tell you. You go kyoyagala kirala nange kyenjagala.
To my this is the power of Africa.
Yeah, ebifaananyi it was cost effective. You are in the studio shooting 2 videos. So You have a local, like Dave Black, Google him. He might be the best photographer in Africa. Google him, David. You Google him. Ogere n'abantu bakuba David Black on Instagram. Genda omunonye. You see what he's doing, what the magazines he's shooting for. And then you're in the studio where he's next door. So is it bad to shoot?
You use that advantage.
Visual
artist.
David Black, you look
very nice. Oh.
No, munonyerezeko. So is it bad? 2, if the person wants that,
the artist,
akugambye this is what I want. Ati why do I go below bar? He's saying this is the standard I want to do. Let me tell you, Bebe called me. It was 3 a.m. in the night. Ngamaze questions video. Nangamba questions today bichi abana bagikuwa kiteke kwa MTV. But I'm not satisfied. I'm tired of myself. This is what he told me. I'm tired of myself. I've been doing that same thing exactly for 28 years. I'm tired. Nangamba simanyi ngenda kola nene ndozo ba kubiddwa oba kiki ne mwana ne rasta twogera obencha nanga saameka ne mwana kubira ko saa 10 mzenyi yali mu America nangubira ku saa 10 aro kimanyi sawa eri bwaki like bwachiro time zones afe zero opposite nembuza, so what do you want to do exactly? Nangamba, I want to do something that I like. So nemwa like what? Nanga, there's a certain type of music I was doing. He told me, and when I were him, that's when I understood him. I sang I Don't Wanna Be Lonely. When was it? I sang King of the Jungle. When was it? I sang Fire Anthem. I sang Kube. When was it? That was him. But because of sound is aliwo, Chameleon ngalese mukalingala Afrobeat, like you know, he had to change. So now emyaka egisigadde esatu ene gyasigaza mu music. He wants to do what he wants.
Kyalina okuyimba.
Ye kyanyumirwa. You get. Nangamba olaba benyimba mbeera ewange. And like sinyumirwa. Naye bankuba music w'abandi simaba si ba P-Square simaya baruga simaya bani. Ask myself, am I a musician? When I move, natambula nagenda wa he doesn't feel comfortable playing his music for people because of different reasons. Might be a language barrier, might be a quality barrier, might be a genre barrier. I don't know. But Augamba Taina. So this is a client who is telling you, I want to redefine myself. I want to find a new spark. And to me, it was interesting because this is someone who goes to Gamba. People of his league, like, they don't need anything anymore. What is there for Bebe to prove in music? You tell me something that Chayagal proving at Mubanja. If he's not achieved it, then maybe it was not his. And that's the misconcept that I feel when put it out. Because album again international. There is no album international.
It's just an album.
It's just it's just when they consume your music beyond borders, you become international. It's international as I think cross border, right? It's just a nice music of a collection of music. Tewali wombono boba really cut international album is sounding. What's the benchmark? But there are standards to music. Like if a song, if a DJ is playing, tagala kwata kunobu tagala, and that's the same thing what happened with our music, our videos in the radio and visual. Character to gamba. If I play with Lil Wayne, yagala we mujako nenzako to face. Yangati we're not far. Because the standards of MTV Africa need to match the standards of MTV International. Techichuka.
MTV Europe, MTV.
The standards of Capital FM, bwejjako oluyimba lwa Jason Derulo, ne bazzaako olwa Bushingtone, lulina okubanga tewali drop. So which means Bush alina okumatchinga quality ya station. You get. There are people who can do stuff here when you give them money. There are people who will not do that stuff here, even if you give them money. 2, client might come from a perspective, I've tried everything else. 3, I may be formatted to do something nga kiri ekyo. So when Sawaya Lero, if you tell me to produce your album, no matter you want Kadongo Kamu, you want Kadongo Kamu, I'll do it. But I won't go to Nesim to do Kadongo Kamu. I won't go to Michael Fingers to do Kadongo Kamu. Era bamanyi abamukola oshitegera the same way. It's the same thing. It's like us lying to ourselves that we can really produce a mapiano. We can't. But you've been to South Africa, you know it. Era ne juzu nayo nawuliza na mundongo nebuzanenga wow. We are very far away. There's now a new sound called Afrotech. So Afrotech now, the European DJs play a lot of EDM festivals. But then Amapiano sound was something that was training, but they didn't understand how to play it. Like they don't know how to play Amapiano. Apart from the exports from Africa, like black coffee, they're playing Amapiano.
But black coffee
and that's what I'm saying. No,
but deep houses.
So what happens is there's now that fusion of EDM and Amapiano, which is Afrotech. It's now the trending sound. You get? Now for us, we're just jumping. So the issue is, there are people who are formatted. There's so many times I've taken songs to try to call her album ya Lydia ne Fingers. I tried this thing. Can you finish Nanga Bush? That's not me. You can do it, but me I can't. No, Michael, you can't. Like Nanga ngenda bichu sa. But I like what you've done. So the issue is we need to understand these things. Well, because Twitter platforms, people just talk when they want to talk. But people don't analyze. Nze wenda bechintu usually mimbi ande akuleta oluyimba nsoka mubuza wabadde oyagala kufuna ki. Okitegeera tubeera awe ne baboyibo banvuma ku show zammwe ne bagamba kiti kyegundu tegyayase twakola show ya Morris Kiria mu Serena nagamba I don't want any lights, I just want little mood lighting first. Saagala temukuba bitaala byammwe, nyagala focus ngeri kunze kati gwe bojja ku show n'otabirabaga abana tebalina mataala tegayase bwokola show nga ya 6 to what they were doing an EDM set and I was like I'm going full with the lights. I'm going to do a light show. And we even advertise it. When I want to tojja, matagagana bamanji. I think it's going to be like that. So everything has a script. You may not understand someone's script until after time when, I don't know, when you discover or something. You get what I'm trying to say? So to me, some things we judge them too early. There are so many reasons why we do things. Engineer banja bazimbe nyumba. Wachi golonda mu Bushingtone zimbire nyumba. Naye ngomanyi mulimu engineer nga ogende ka sensor no $1 million nyumba tajja jizimbanga bush. 2, understanding your music is different. But it's different when you deal with people. When I first joined Coke Studio, I sang abantu abamanyi music nenseka. I was producing and I used to make beats like 5 beats in like 5 hours. Like, how did you do that? Nembagamba waffe beat zoko mukuba ze sente zokola ki? Well, yeah, so gobona dawo ngosoka kwetege. Naye nasanga abantu ngasoka nanonya tone nagilayinga. Nasoka EQinga. Naji some compress. Ngatanda playing anything. Naga okay when I play so which drums am I going to put down? Na take a nasokale akola channel list here all the instruments he's going to use. Nataniko kuba. Nama nagamba how does that sound? How does it sound? Guys, nice. Naga no, I don't feel it. Let me come back. Numga nenze kati wano matandi say. Obochitegera. Conversation you have is in the same. Nemugamba ujakola ko n'abantu. But they're too musical. They pay attention to the sheets of music. Nagamba, waliwo amateeka forget to defying. And I go, no. Well, 2 choruses, the song has to drop down. And then the bridge, and then you have to go, this is how, I want these tones here. Nagana musical. That's because you have so many. There's a lady called Fifi. Fifi is Amama Mbabazi's daughter. She studied music at Berkeley University. It's the best university in the world of music. Do you know that? Alimu Uganda one. She's an engineer. Yeah. But she be practicing. But I had a chance to work on a project with Michael Fingers Ngawali. And that's when I got the theory. And you were like, Michael, no. I think if you pass this compression here and then you, hey, Michael Nagamba, why don't you mix the thing? Nagamba, no, Sibiagala. But she's here. That's summer music one. You know Michael Uma? He's a music genius. Naye omugaa kubira engoma oyinza obutagifuna ajja kukuba ebintu 10 nga byonna biri tick. I send him melodies when I'm composing. Nenyimba ekintu kusemanga Michael, play me something like this. Mudakika 5 nga akikweza na kisinga gye kiro. Ne mugaa nkolera oluyimba. Naye ne album ze agenda wasambisa so agenda mu bantu ne bakuba engoma nga tazikuteeka. Why? Obukitegeera. So there's levels to these things. We need to understand that. That's a fact. There are levels to these things. Then working with some people creates opportunities. That is also a fact. If I have my song mixed by Ed Sheeran's song engineer or producers, chances are high Ed Sheeran might hear my song. Am I lying? What happens from there, you never know. Nagamba mufi Uganda. Let's get him. I want to feature on that song. There are so many stories. There's so many stories there. You Google them. There are so many stories like testimonies like that. The people who vote, the people on their Grammy Academy are people like us. These are same players in the same system doing. So you think Bati baba yalonde nyimba zateekayo tajja kuteekayo. Obushitega kyengeza kugamba. The DJs who are playing, it's like chenkunyemeza cha capital. They'll tell you, mu America, if a song is coming from Sony, we shall play. If it's coming from Universal, we shall play. But who are you with? It's the same thing. Chenkugamente twali wanonga Capital FM. Steve waweereza, oh bamuli mukofu. Bamanyi Sonics are so nice. It's quality work. Just play. There's a time everyone used to go to Dream Studio. When I was sound in you go to Dream. It was there. So everyone was being changed to format into Dream's space. But Dream was very good at a certain genre. Oshitege, that genre you're dominating at that period. That's how it is. Every day, what time what against what ofuna hit. That's how it is. So the chiri mukabi nze kugamba nti so and so yakobidde Wizkid ayina ne hit ku Tyler ayina ne hit ku Tiwa Savage wakamoye oluyimba lumu tomanya. 2, I want to see how it feels working with someone. Burna Boy woke up one day nagamba, I'm doing African Giant. Who are the producers of the album? I want to work with P. Diddy, and I see what it means to work with P. Diddy. And like I said, when I went to Coke Studio, I opened my. When I went to MTV, I opened my mind. We went like you learn a lot of things. You get. Even here, the people. When I first worked with Steve Jean, he opened my eyes to a lot of things. When I went to Dream Studios, I learned. When I worked with Washington, I learned. Mulimu ebintu nga oyina kugenda woyo abimanyi okiyige oba okitegeera. So if someone has an opportunity to do that, why not? I won't blame omuyimbi atalina opportunity eyo. They are not si mukisa gwabwe. But omuntu aba akiyina, I don't see any wrong. So if Jesse, how much, you Google how much Jesse charges to engineer one song. We were talking about engineering, you yourself. So what the courts is our engineer? So if engineer Omar charging $1,500 to engineer one song, 20 songs is how much? 20 songs is how much?
5 times 20. That is 40. 80.
If someone is shooting an album, videos at 10,000, 15,000 at a minimum, and they shoot like 4 videos, At 15,000, that's how much?
60.
What about logistics? Flying there, going there. If you talk about if a producer is charging you 5,000, 3,000, and you do 10 songs with them, how much is that? So you do the math, how much money have you spent?
So, the message to the critics?
No, it's not a message. They will have to learn some things. Let them get time to learn some things. And me, I'm not telling people to run to me. No. Come to me. No. But if you come to me, Nonga Bush, I want you to direct my album, I'll ask you, what do you want? Ngagwe. What do you want to achieve? I want something that, will dominate Uganda. I want something that you get. If someone tells me, I want something that will play in the UK, I'll first do research. What is playing in the UK? What are they playing in the UK? Oh, they're playing trap, or they're playing house, or they're playing this. If I want to play in South Africa, I need to know what is happening in South Africa. First. Sigena twala chintu change, chemanyi mbolokuba chemanyi, chitwale South Africa. If I can't do it, I have to find someone who will do it. And then I meet the two. I meet your demands and this person's demand. And my creativity. That's what is the last thing I put. So, Boba oyagala kola something. I first ask you, nebo joke ngama nkole show ngubuza, oyagala chi blood. You, chechigeno kuwa esanyo. You're my first client. I don't care who sits behind their nice cameras and they abuse me. I care about go oyagala chi. Because go nsasudde. Era wonkwata mungalo ngamba I'm happy. I'm okay. So, sina rimba renakera nengamba nti, oh, bebe, duno lwange, no. Namubuza, do you like? We recorded around 70 songs. Even Jews twongeddeko endala. Okitegeera. Like, so, nti even got into it, and bayangamba, why, nga sina recording to find me something. What about this? Mulimu yemugamba ekyo kireke, it's not you. Mulimu nangamba ekyo njagala wadde si kyange ngenda kiyimba. Okay, record it and see how. Because I also experiment. Sometimes I may be wrong. Naye soka mbuuza gwe kiki ky'oyagala gwe ng'omuntu oba onfuna ye bw'agamba nti kino kye njagala ngamba okay, it's going to cost you this. I've made my research. N'essimu ye kabaka w'ekyo. Oba kitegeera. If someone tells you saagala baati mu kintu kyange w'okola oti ogenda mugamba baati ajje hiya bw'aba akugambye si kye njagala bw'akugamba njagala ono no. Okay, gundi azanyidde wa ali awo kati njagala akuzanyira awo. And I see what it takes. So, this is a person who wants to stretch, who wants to experiment. Is there something wrong with experimenting?
No.
It's just levels changing. You're experimenting from why? You say I'm experimenting from Munyonyo. But we are all doing the same thing. We are driving self-satisfaction. Does it impress other people? It might not. And this is what I told him. Choyagalo kola. You may not go out with it for one song or two songs. I remember my first conversation with Bebe Cool. Love You Every Day is what came out. Yansanga laughters. Nangama guy going kulaba. I won't say what he said. He was trying to buy me from Good Life. And that we had done the Street Lights album. But so kwa ukana nanga jang tukule zenina sente. Oyagalachi. He even offered me money to be his manager. A lot of money. And I told him, I just want to record a song with you. But it's not me going to do it. There's someone that I feel if you guys connect, and that person was Michael Fingers. Because when I worked with Michael on Streetlights, on Bring Me Back, we did, I was doing Breath Away. Breath Away. I didn't call it Breath Away. And then he walked in, he's like, wow, this is nice. So nagamba, can I just touch something? Natula, nagamba, there was a take one. I feel reverse that, and he was so good. So so I got someone who challenged me. Before that, I nanga Benon. So everything I run to Benon. So Michael not challenging Hachi. When something came, Steve Oyo, Babata Yaga Rimba Tajam studio. So wait on I said, but Lunyumi. So Charlie King was there. Nanga Charlie akole BVs zasooka zaali zikoleddwa Lilian. Naye twali recording ku Good Life nga tu recording them try to sing so kuva mu Neverland nga tuzze kati mweyo Neverland 2 gye balimu. So nga microphone tezikola ki nga tetunakola studio. So mu second bedroom ya Ruizo we wali studio. Omai was yaganga nnyo producing so yatenga push tuyeye kintu. So ne take more and we did a good day, we did fitting in the same room. Nga tekuli era those vocals are not so clean but because Benon gave them a good touch. So we try soloing a mic on aish marabozichi. He's used to clean things. Chena kugambye luli yamanyi nti baba recording eddobozi bwoba oyimba harmony oyina kudda side eno. That's how he was trained and that's how it should be. Nebo nsijanze ngamba kasajja kalina olugezigezi. You know, twavumanga Steve nti alina olugezigezi naye lwakuba tewaite tuli bayonjo. Okitegeera muveeri n'ebigato byo nga biwunya kaboni musajja naga awunya n'oyomba musajja alina olugezigezi but for him muyonjo. Okitegeera kati goyagala abe mu jama nga ggwe olwokuba akugamba sokisi zijenga zitukula ng'oyingira studio yange. It's a business abantu babeera waawo you get. So people every day. So when they opened my eyes, we were experimenting. That's the time Phantoms were here for Ompalula. So Michael did Ompalula for Phantoms. Ngandaba, alinga okufenwa. So time ne to come. When I had the conversation with Bebe Nemugamba, I think you should try something. So I called Michael Nemugamba. I want Michael ngatayagala production. I said I know okay. Ngamba Bebe cool. I want. Bro, what am I going to do with that artist? Remember, you're going to do something. Nangama, no, I don't see anything. You get. But time Netuka, we paid him the yeah, but he discovered the other side of Bebe. If we had not experimented that, maybe we wouldn't have had Bebe soft rock what you. It's Bebe's biggest song. It's in English. It's his biggest song ever. It's in English. Nemasaka balukuba, nekyabadaza balukuba. Anti mwina bino bulino kolera abantu ba wansi. Abantu ba wansi yeffe abantu ba wansi. We nali wahamu nga nkola show ye. N'abantu benasangayo yeffe. Okitegeera yeffe benasangayo. Sasanga bana benasomanga nabo be bali eyo wansi. Kati ani muntu wa wansi. And the song is a song. Okitegeera. Yes, sometimes language takes us far. Because when you take the choy man means that you're consuming a man. Or sometimes it's the music, the beats. Gangnam Style would take together, but it hit. But there was an extra factor. If they played Gangnam Style, Ngatorula video, you may not have liked it. But the character of the artist in Akola maybe. So you see, Sinopaso's Ninji.
That's not a one key factor.
Yeah, it's not a one key factor. I mean, to me, for someone to be successful, you get. So I may listen to music. You want to tell me into Isaiah Gatuma Siwa Kabi. Mulire jazz bamukuba mu ndongo. Yeah. Kenny Jigo Togama bamukuba mu governor. No. You book him. Olabe sende mekaza akusaba. Ochitegera. So to me, it's non-tino. Yes, I know people want to talk. And also Bebeku's political status has not helped. That's the fact. His political status has not helped. So politics will play a part. Me is a normal client. I wouldn't judge whether you're who. I'm not into politics. So it's a J1 but he also gave me chance to experiment, to do things I've always wanted to do. When I was managing Lydia, there is a certain type of artist I wanted to create. And I had freedom to do that. I had freedom to do that. I was being bandwagon with Team when we started Team No Sleep. There was trying up pressure to do stuff. And when I sat with Michael Fingers, but I think you do something different. So we started experimenting a lot of things. The first 2 years in Lydia, there's songs we did because we mabala to make money. But to me, and I think one of the reasons why we didn't get a balloon is because I was 10 kilometers ahead of her. So namugamba nga yimba nga kino nga ye agenda bwakiringa n'abantu be bamuzanyira birala and it was making money for them. okitegeera bakuba hits zaali zijja. But me, I was trusting the process. And I knew if I create something, it's going to live on her forever. She's going to be in her own space. What's her biggest song? You and Me. It's the same thing I was trying to do. So I was happy her biggest song that time was something I was trying to do. You get? And I told her, I want to do an album. Now, the album be not Hajimanyi by then. But I used to record songs. No, because I'm trying to create an identity and I want to find it perfectly. So, it used to give me something. We must try recording and Michael. I think we got one. This is not her. You get? We've experimented. I can play you a lot of things, the records that we used to do. There's hip hop, there's stuff. So this Break the Chains has given me opportunity to experiment, to see. So I've also learned a lot of things that I can use on other people. I've learned to be patient. I've learned to be patient on that album. That's the truth. I don't have a lot of patience. But I met an artist who is really up there. So the way I've been dealing with artists, so ajja kugamba this, even omugamba kino sikyagala, you have to find a way okumugamba nti temuyomba, okitegeera ego ye eri eno, nange ego kankali eno, so gesanga, you get. So I've learned to be patient. I've learned to understand someone nti sogoki omuntu mulekeemu enkya muddire ekyo naye sikiina nze ondaba nga onkyawaya ngamba manyi go. You get. So the issue is indeed the people who are, I don't care. You get. And to be honest, I don't care what. So if someone wants to criticize or tell me about my work, they should be working with me. They should be working like I do. If I want to talk about Alan Okero playing soccer, I should have played soccer and I know what it means to be in the pitch. It's easy to talk about someone's work. It's very easy. Ekifaananyi ennyumba yali badde ya blue ne bannaye omusajja n'afuna ennyumba n'ozimba ebokisi n'oŋŋamba gwenda gaggwa akasiisirako we kali bannaye abagagga toyina yadde mudaala gwali envu Katikkiro bwe yagambye naye oyagala kuvuma omuntu alina restaurant nga Caramel okitegeera kyengeeza kuga. So to me, music is diverse. You may not understand it. Sometimes people understand all that they know. There is so much out there. People don't move. Sikudaala naye abantu bo boyagala kunvuma njagala oninnye ku nnyonyi ogende olabe Kenya babikola batya, UK babikola batya. Oyinza okuba onvuma nvumira mu nsobi. I called you personally. Nenga but ibanja akola amapiano nkole nani sakubira lwaki saaje ekubira okitegeera
nakubirako Rojo nga bakola olumala mele Spice because I had the marriage of Spice doing an piano song nekubira manager Roja kani nga mugamba omanyi abayino chukuba baliwa if you really want to do amapiano but we tetwafuna communication nga later kitegeera kimugamba
akyengezako kugamba sometimes but waba yamanyi okukola ekintu yamanyi kikola oba omwagala oba tomwagala yamanyi okikola. So ekyo kizibu kyatulemeramu and tulowooza nti ffe ekintu kirina okukolebwa nga ffe bwe tukyagala. You are gwani who says nga babaga gwani kati gongamba ngani nkole gwe kyoyagala. You don't know what I wanted, do you? So because you have a page where you want to drive, because I understand these people, they analyze current affairs, they analyze things that have been done, whereas me, I'm a creative. I create things that will before someone tells me. I create things for people. That's the difference. So me, I create things for people. Some will like them, some will not like them. Those who like them, even if they are 10, I'll go with them. Ninga katonda we yagamba ani yali bagamba gawali wachiza Sodoma tiwa abali 10 njagenda nabo wabali 15 nabambi yeah, I'll grow with those 10 over time. I will tell you I was not a fan of amapiano. I was not a fan. Ngera nimba kwano bange DJ batali bikuba mfuluma. But I've learned to know that there is diversity. Kati bakube engome zimu nengamba wono ni mmotoka yange muri muzenkuba. You get what I'm trying to say. So some people I don't want to sound rude, but some people have I can't say this.
Vibe like UG.